Heyo, it's the Crypto Oracle here, and today we're going to do a comparison and a review of both the Trezor and the Ledger Nano S. The Trezor is by Satoshi Light, the Ledger is by Ledger, and they're both hardware wallets that can store not only Bitcoin but plenty of altcoins, Ethereum, etc. And I'm going to show you guys, or tell you guys, which one is the best for your value, or the best for how much you're willing to spend, or what you're trying to trade, what coins you're trying to store, and then I'm gonna pretty much tell you guys the features and the quirks of each one and which one you should get. So let's go ahead and get started. Just kind of starting out, let's talk about kind of the similarities of the two. Now, they both are hardware wallets, which means all you have to do is plug them in with a USB cord to the little mini, or is that a mini or a micro USB here, and there's a similar one here on the end. So the functionality is pretty similar. Both of them have restore key phrases, which means they're going to list out 24 words that you need to write down, and if you ever lose your ledger or your Trezor or they get destroyed, you can recover them by ordering a new ledger or Trezor and using those words to get your coins back, basically. Now, security, they're both running off of hardware chip architecture. I have here that the Trezor is running off of a single MCU, while the Ledger is running off of the ST31 and STM32 chip architecture. That doesn't really mean much to most people. It really doesn't mean much to me. All I've really heard is that the Trezor is a little bit more vulnerable to phishing attacks or hardware attacks. The Ledger, I'm sure it has its own vulnerabilities, but most of these you're not really going to have to worry about because it's just not possible these days to carry out those type of attacks anymore. That's more based on like the 90s and the early 2000s when those attacks were possible. As long as you keep these offline, they're going to be 100% secure. Now, 100% secure is pretty rare to see these days, but that's the great thing about a hardware wallet, or even about keeping your wallet on like a hard drive or a USB stick, is that you can keep it offline and it's going to be 100% secure. The only thing about these is they have a little bit more ease of use. They have a little bit more security because they are hard-coded with passwords or pins, as well as recovery phrases. So that's a little bit harder to set up on your own. Basically, it's automating having a very secure hard drive with all your wallets on it. Next, we're going to talk about the functionality. So the Ledger, you got two little buttons on the top. One button's left, one button's right. You press them both to confirm. That's pretty simple. The Trezor uses buttons a little bit less. You don't really touch these at all. Mostly your functionality is based through the web app. And I'm going to show you guys that soon. So next, actually, we're going to talk about what coins you guys can store on each one. So first, we're going to start out with the Trezor, and then we're going to go to the Ledger, and let's see what coins you guys can store, which ones you should buy based on what coins or tokens you're trying to store. Okay, so here we have the list up. This is for the Trezor, which is this little black thing. That's for the Trezor. As you can see, obviously both of them can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, but the Trezor can store Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dash, Zcash, Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Cash, the forks, Bcash, Ethereum Classic, ERC20 tokens. Now the Trezor, one of the features is it can hold all ERC20 tokens, as opposed to the Nano Ledger S, or Ledger Nano S, which can store only a certain list of ERC20 tokens, but it does hold most of them. It can hold Ubic, XEM, Namecoin, Dogecoin, and Bitcoin testnet. So that is the full list. You can pause it here or go to doc.satoshilabs.com/Trezor FAQ, and you'll learn all about the Trezor and what it supports. So next, let's go over to the Ledger Nano S. And you can see which alts it supports. Now you can see the Nano S and the Ledger Blue. The Blue is the newest version of the hardware. And you can see here that the older one, the Nano, the Unplugged, and the HW.1 support Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash only, while the Ledger Nano S and Blue support all of these, which is in alphabetical order: ARC, Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Gold, Ethereum, Ethereum Classic, Expanse, Dash, DGB, Doge, Hcash or HSR, Komodo or KMD, Litecoin, Neo. That's an important difference. Is the ledger does support Neo, while the Trezor does not. PivX, Qtum, StealthCoin, Stellar, Strat, Ubic, Vertcoin, Viacoin, XRP, and Zcash. So yeah, and then plus there's an ERC20 token list. And as you can see here, it pretty much supports every ERC20 token that you'd ever need. It just kind of avoids some of the shit coins like Sexy Coin and I don't know, just the random stuff that nobody really uses or just has a really low volume. It has all the main stuff: ADX, BAT, DAO, DICE, EDG, EOS, FUN, GNO, GNT, ICN. Let's see what else it supports: Kyber Network, Chainlink, Lunar, MCO, MobileGo. I mean, really anything that you would really want to store, unless it's a really small, obscure coin. You're not really gonna need any more support. But if you do, then I would definitely go with the Trezor. If you have, maybe you're a developer or you're a big investor in a really small coin that isn't supported by the Ledger Nano S, you're definitely gonna want to get a Trezor. So now let's go into the actual usability and the web apps of each device. So here I've logged into the Trezor online wallet. It's wallet.trezor.io. I've connected my Trezor, I've entered my PIN, everything's safe, and I'm securely connected to my Trezor wallet. And as you can see here, the usability is obviously quite simple, similar to pretty much any wallet. It's a little bit more modern than something like a Bitcoin Core wallet. But right now we have the Bitcoin wallet open, and you can see a list of transactions. You can mess with your settings. You can receive and send Bitcoin. You can sign and verify if that's your cup of tea, and you can download some more apps. Basically, you've got your full list of supported coins here. You have to, if you want to use any of the other coins, you have to download the supported app. Or if you want to use Ethereum, you have to connect through my Ether wallet. So it's a little bit of a hassle, but it's necessary, and my Ether wallet is very safe, and it's pretty practical, so that's kind of one of the great things about it. Not really much to say about this wallet. There's not really going to be much to say about either wallet. In terms of what's actually displayed on the Trezor itself, there isn't much displayed on it. All it says is Crypto Oracle Trezor, which is the name of my Trezor. And on the Ledger, it's going to show a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and show the Ledger online wallet interface, and we will compare them. So here I am opening up the Ledger wallet for Bitcoin, and on my screen I can see that I have logged in. I entered my PIN on the Ledger itself. That is the difference. On the Ledger, you enter it on the screen itself, while on the Trezor, things will show up, or a little keypad will show up on your web app, and the numbers itself that you have to enter will show up on your Trezor. But either way, you still have to remember your PIN, and it's still equally secure. So I have some apps downloaded. The thing about the Ledger is that you can only have a limited number of apps. So right now I have Bitcoin, Dash, Ethereum, FIDO UTF, U2F, and Litecoin. So as you can see, I only have 4 apps on here, and you can only have, I think, a maximum of 4 or 5, because there's really just not much space, not much memory space on the Ledger itself. And so if I wanted to, say, use ARC or Ubic or something, what I would have to do is go into the Ledger Manager app, which is a similar Chrome extension to the Ledger Bitcoin wallet, and I would have to take off one of those apps. Let's say I'm not using Dash, so I would take off the Dash app, but my Dash would still be safe and secure on the Ledger. I would just take off the interface for it. So I'd take off, basically uninstall the app, kind of like how an iPhone will remember your app information if you delete an app, and then if you reinstall it, it's just like you already had it and you have all your information. Very similar with this, because it's all stored on the Ledger itself. The apps take up more space. So I'm going to go ahead and go into my Bitcoin wallet. So I'm going to enter by pressing both buttons, and you can see it changed on my screen. I want to use the Bitcoin chain. I'm going to remember that instead of the Bcash chain, just because I don't use Bcash. So we're going to use Bitcoin. Choose your address type. I'm going to use SegWit, and you can see it loading up. It does take a little bit of time. I've noticed that it takes a little bit longer to open up than the Trezor. The Trezor is a little bit more instant to open up wallets, so the Ledger normally takes like 30 seconds to a minute to open up your wallet. So I will resume whenever that's open. All right, so it just opened up. It did end up taking like 60 seconds to synchronize. That's just something you're gonna have to either get used to or I don't know. It's normally a little bit quicker on other apps. Just, the Bitcoin Core has always been a little bit of a laggard. So you have pretty much the same setup. I know it's a little bit cut off up here, but you have your accounts up here, your send button, very similar. If you want to send to anybody, if you want to receive, click receive. You got your Bitcoin address, and you can always put an amount in if you want to send a request. Settings, pretty similar. You can change the blockchain that it's using if you want to use Bcash or the hardware and stuff like that. So pretty similar in terms of they're both very simple. It's pretty much what you're going to want. If you were using your Ledger a little bit more, which I just got mine, so I haven't really been using it to send or receive, you'd see a list of your operations. You see a little bit more stuff up. You'd see your account and a balance and such. You'd see your old send and receive transactions, things like that. You can see pretty much like all the operations of the Ledger itself. So in terms of comparing their usability and their web apps, I really wouldn't put one over the other. At the end of the day, let's go ahead and get out of this and just go to a normal screen. So at the end of the day, my comparison, let me disconnect the Trezor real quick just for safety. At the end of the day, sorry for saying at the end of the day so much, but at the end of the day, which one should you choose? I'm going to put it down to this. I personally would get a Ledger over a Trezor most days. Most days. For two reasons. The first reason is simply the price. You can get a Ledger for between $80 and $120. You can get a Trezor for between $200 and $220. The Ledger is simply cheaper, and it has all the functionality that you could ever use for the Trezor, with one exclusion. That's going to be those obscure ERC20 tokens. So pretty much only get a Trezor if you need to use it for, let's say you have a huge collection of ERC20 tokens and you have a bunch of obscure ones that aren't supported on the Ledger, then you can use the Trezor. Or if you have a coin that's not supported, something like Neo, then you would want to use the Ledger. But I mean, a lot of people store Neo. It's a pretty popular coin. It is a top 10 coin still, I believe. So you're going to want to get a Ledger for that if you are storing Neo. So pretty much, obviously, I'm going to favor Ledger a little bit more just because I like it a little bit better. I like the construction of it. I like how simple it is. I like how you just swing it out, plug it in, and you can enter everything and change the apps on the screen. Well, on here, everything is controlled through the computer, so it just feels a little bit weird. Plus, it's completely made of plastic, which is a little flimsy, while the Ledger has this aluminum cover over it. As you can see, it's got that aluminum cover where the device itself swings out of. So it just feels a little bit safer. If you sit on it, you have a lot less chance of breaking it. Now, in terms of breaking it, or if you get, or if you lose either of these things, the only difference, like they're both gonna be equally secure as long as you write down your 24-word phrase. Your coins will be safe on either one. The only difference is pretty much the cost. This one is just going to cost more to replace. This one's going to cost half as much. So if you're not trading with that much, then the cost of your hardware is going to be a lot more important. So also just a Ledger with the case is you're going to have a lesser chance of breaking it when you sit on it, or when a fat guy sits on it on the bus station. So the Ledger, you can easily snap this in half. It's super thin. It's made of plastic. It's not a super durable plastic. It's Doesn't even feel like an ABS really. It's just a cheap plastic with a board inside. While the Ledger is a little bit thicker, it's a little bit hardier. I really don't feel like I could really snap this unless I really wanted to. And then as long as it's in this case, you really couldn't snap it because you'd have to bend both pieces of this aluminum casing. So it just feels a little bit more hardy. So overall, I prefer the Ledger. It's cheaper, it supports Neo, and it's just a hardier device. It feels more solid in your hand. It's a little bit slimmer. It feels just like a USB stick. You can put it on your keychain, which you can actually do with both. You both have little lanyards to put on your keychain, so they're pretty similar there. They both come with the same thing. They both come with USB cords that'll connect everything. They both come with these little lanyards. They both come with your a little piece of paper where you can write your 24-word phrase. So similar in that matter. Pretty much just only get a Trezor if you are using it for some obscure ERC20 tokens, which 99% of traders really aren't. So overall, I would recommend the Ledger Nano S. Crypto Oracle officially recommends the Ledger Nano S over the Trezor, but I'm not sponsored by either one. However, I do have Amazon links, so if you do plan on buying either one of these, either the Trezor or the Ledger Nano S, please click on the Amazon link below, and I'll get a little kickback from that for doing the review. So so there'll be some safe Amazon links to both of these devices where you can buy them in the description below. So that's my review. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter, go to @OracleOfCrypto on Twitter. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give it a like, give it a comment. Let me know which one you have already, if you already have one of these devices, or if you plan on buying one to store your coins. What else? Go to the first link in the description to go to Blockchain Education, which is our brand new program. It's been out for like a month, but it's been a huge success. People have made already ridiculous amounts of money from the calls there. It is a trading group, it is a discussion group, and it is an education platform. There's a full comprehensive education program where you can learn about how to trade, you can learn about Bitcoin itself and the technology behind it, and you just learn how to be a better trader and improve your profits. So thank you guys again. Looking forward to the January 1st video that I'll be putting out, but I'm still doing the daily uploads, so definitely keep up with those, and make sure to hit that subscribe button. So thank you again for watching. This has been the Crypto Oracle. Good luck with your trades this week, and I hope you guys can make the right decision regarding your hardware wallets. So thank you.